Miss Sasha. Do people call you Miss Sasha? I feel like that's a thing. Miss
No,
Sasha. Really?
nobody calls me Miss Sasha. Well, like I've been called Miss Sasha by like younger people, and I'm only 23, so I'm like, please do not call me Miss Sasha. Please, like, just call me Sasha. That I don't need no Miss, no, I don't need anything in front of my name. Just call me Sasha. So
Oh, I
I guess
got you.
any form for this, you can call me Miss Sasha. But Sasha is okay. Trust and believe. Sasha is okay. You don't have to call me Miss Sasha.
Sasha.
Yes, Sasha.
Always with the lean in. Sasha.
Yeah,
Uh,
brings the flavor. So you got to add a little extra when you say. Just
Side
say.
note, do you watch Kev on Stage? Do you know who Kev on Stage is?
I don't say
I
don't say.
love Kev on Stage. He's great.
He is there. He's funny, and you know what? He's apostolic like me.
hmm hmm I feel like this might get me like murdered in the black community.
Well,
But I only found out about him like last year.
that's
He's
not
been
a
around forever.
community. I mean, we all come aware of things at different times, so it's not going to get you killed.
This is true. They be trying to cancel people though.
This is a cancel culture. Like they cancel anybody for anything. I mean, you breathe wrong, baby. You are canceled.
I mean, saying that, I don't think I've done enough to be canceled yet.
For this nation or for this world, because we can't cancel everybody. Okay, we can't.
Fair
People
enough.
sin and they make mistakes sometimes, or they may do something that you may not agree with. Don't doesn't mean they need to be canceled. That's
Grace.
right there. That'll pre. I'm just playing, but come on.
Cancel culture, especially in the believing communities, makes no sense.
You say in the what community?
In the believers community, as a
Oh,
believer, cancel culture makes no sense at all.
yeah, it
You
does.
know, imagine if Jesus had cancel culture. This,
We'd be very sad and
well,
very Lord, don't cancel us.
don't
Listen,
cancel.
on my story today, it was like basically when like you hear the trumpets, and it was like, oh, I thought somebody was blowing the horn, but then you realize it's Jesus. I was like, Lord, when them horns come, I need to go up yonder.
I
Okay,
need to know.
I need to
I
go up.
need.
I don't need to be. I don't need to be listening to the sound, the melodic sounds of the horns. I need to hear the first note, and I need my soul to rise up with you. So
Take me.
don't cancel me, Lord. Don't cancel me. Keep me in.
Oh, that would be the worst. I was just talking to my sister actually a couple of days ago. We talk every day, but this conversation took place a couple of days ago, and we were like, if we ever heard "Depart from me, I never knew you," that would be like, that's the worst.
Honestly, would I've never begged in my life, but I would I would beg the Lord like never before.
Never
I
did it before.
like shedding a billion tears a minute because
Woo.
Lord, you can't do it. Lord. That's why I'm telling you, I'm really trying to get myself together. I'm not trying to just be about my talk, but I'm trying to do the walk and the talk. I'm trying to put actions behind his
The
word
works.
and be true to his word and be sincere about it. Cause some people are not
Yeah.
about it. And that's one thing I am trying to be. I'm trying to be really authentic and sincere about, when it comes to ministry and comes to God. And when I'm, feel like God has told me something, it's sincere. I don't just be like, what can I tell the people of God today? Like, if God puts it in my spirit, then I'll do, feel like I'll share it. But, I'm not trying to be seen, but I'm really just, if God puts something on my heart, then I'll share it. Because I'm I'm a shy person, to be honest. I'm shy. I really am. You can ask
This
anybody.
is interesting that you say that because I'm talking to you now. For
I know, and
those
I
who don't know, we haven't known each other that long and we never met in person.
never, we have never met in person, don't really know each other. But, that's how the vibes can be sometimes, when you just have good, just good people and good atmosphere and good energy, you don't
Yeah,
have to know. You can meet somebody like right now, like in the instant, and already kind of feel that vibe between each other because it's just chemistry.
that's true. It's true. Michael Todd said, I don't know how true, like, I don't know the science behind it, but apparently you can have chemistry with up to like 130 people or something like that. Um,
Only,
I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I was confused, but my point is like, I guess it's not limited to one person.
oh
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
oh
So
yeah,
I think that's pretty dope.
it
But
is.
yeah, so it's been good. I mean, I've seen, I don't know how long we've been following each other, but it's been a little bit. but I had to once I started this podcast. I just kind of I pay attention to a few different people that I don't know personally that I think bring light. You're one of those people.
Oh,
No,
really? You think I bring light to this world? Listen.
uh,
But thank you. I definitely appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
so I said I'm gonna get this light on the podcast. Um, and one thing, well, one of the topics we'll cover kind of is like being sure about yourself. And I feel like you don't have all the answers, but I do get an assurance from you about like what you want, you know, if,
To get assurance on what? I'm sorry.
on what you want.
Oh, I think I do have assurance on that.
See, I discern that.
You learned that
So
good. Your spirit picked up right, sir. Your spirit picked up right.
tapping into it, the first question.
Okay.
Well, you can plug yourself. I'm not ashamed, whatever. What are your social media?
Oh, my social media handles. Okay, everybody. Hey, what's up? So listen, you can follow me on Instagram at Sasha.Kayani. So Sasha, a period, Kayani, Kayani.
Mhm.
On Facebook, Sasha Kayani as well. If you still have Facebook, I know a lot of the young people don't do Facebook, but I'm one of us that still do it to connect with family and my church family and everything like that.
Mhm.
So you can follow, well, not follow me, but add me on Facebook at Sasha Kayani as well.
All right, here we are.
Oh wait, I
So
forgot
go ahead.
my business page, y'all. I do have.
Oh yeah, it's most important.
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer and I do branding and marketing, and it is Touched by Magic. So you can follow me at Touched by Magic LLC. All right, that's it. I think I'm
She's
done.
fire, by the way. I
Thank
do
you.
graphics. I'm like basic. I am basic.
You probably just being humble. I
I
gotta
don't
get.
even know how to use Photoshop.
I need to see some evidence. I didn't even know you did graphics. Well, I don't know you that well, so that makes sense.
You
But
see, this is authentic, people. Y'all thinking I'm joking. We don't know each other that well.
like that, really, we really don't. That's why I was shocked when he wanted me on here. I'm like, you want me? I was
This
like,
is
you
good.
sure you're talking to the right
This
person?
is
Like,
also an example, just like of real people getting to know each other for other people who think like it's hard. All you gotta
mhm.
do is talk to a person. You know what I mean? It's
Sometimes people don't know what to say. So I understand because honestly, like I told you, I'm shy. I'm not, and I'm trying to evolve a little bit because I do know that I some form of fashion I'm supposed to connect with people, encourage people,
mhm.
listen to them in some form of fashion, whether that's through ministry, as in teaching or singing, worship leading,
Yeah.
something. And in that type of capacity, in that type of work, you really have to connect with people, and you really have to love people. And
Yes.
I think I've been, just praying that God works on my heart and my people skills so I can be better because I truly do want to connect with people. I
Yeah.
truly do. And so, that's just my prayer that God works on my heart to really love people the way He wants us to love people. He says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So,
People skills,
yes,
major key. I am also working on my people skills.
yes. And you
Lord have mercy.
got my shell because I like the background. I really do.
That's
I
it.
really,
She mentioned that she can sing. We'll talk about that later. But moving on.
yeah,
Uh,
let's go ahead, go for it. Let's go. let's go. Let's,
so
let's move on.
you mentioned that you do graphics and that's like your business. Tell the people a little bit about yourself. Like what have the last well, how can I ask this question? What have you done so far in terms of you could say professional, school wise, whatever, and like what you're up to now.
Lately, I graduated with my bachelor's in entertainment business from Full Sail University, and
Ooh.
now I'm currently getting my dual master's degree from Johns Hopkins University. I'm getting an MBA and a MA in communications with a concentration in digital communication. And so that's what I'm currently in. right now for school wise. But God has blessed me enough to still be in school, but also have started a job in my career field. I'm currently a digital marketing coordinator for a company called New American Funding. It's a mortgage lending company. I really just started in February, but things have been going so great there. I definitely enjoy it, and I'm really grateful and I'm blessed that God has allowed me to be able to start my career before finishing school, because that's not a lot of people's testimony, right?
Yes.
And so I'm really grateful for it. And so that's what I've been doing, student and working, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired.
No, this is facts, guys.
I
She
love it.
is always doing something.
I am listening.
Busy.
Busy. Like if it's not between, well, thanks. Listen, y'all had to give myself a break because ever since I started school with my bachelor's, I haven't had a summer off. Like I was in school nonstop. So I decided, I said, Sasha, you need to give yourself a break. So I took this summer off, and I'll be back in school in the fall. So I just gave myself the summer off. So it kind of slowed down a little bit. So I have some more time to myself and to focus more on my job and to focus on my business. Because when it was school and work, I really kind of slowed down on my own business because it was just too much going on. And I also go to church often. So my life, y'all, consisted of school, work, church. Like those three things consumed me, literally.
Oh, I know that all too well. I'm just
So
plugging my charger in.
luckily, I took a break from this summer. So right now it is school. Well, not school. Excuse me. Work, church. Little enjoy my free time and enjoy family, have some fun, and then get back to my own business. I've been getting back to that a little bit, but yeah. So that's what I've really been up to lately.
That's so important. One thing you mentioned there was family and just enjoying your free time. Because I feel like we live in a world where culture and society push us so hard. I mean, everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. But we're pushed so hard to always be doing something. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I feel like you should always have something kind of going for you in life, whatever that may be for you. But there's nothing wrong with taking a step back, having family time. Um, and here's another thing. Family time is not stressed very often when you're single. They tell you to
No,
spend all the family time once you have a wife and you get married, or once you have a husband and you get married. But before that, it's like, what are you doing? What are
right.
you
That's
doing?
so like you to bring that point up. They don't stress it when you're single, and in the church they are always stressing. Especially for the man, a man that findeth the wife. So they're stressing you to find your wife. They're stressing you to get with your husband, and they're not stressing that what, love on your family, because they want you to get married and then start your
Hmm.
family. Then okay, yeah, focus on your family, but they don't stress the fact that you should also pay attention to the family that you already in, like that, or your mom,
Yes.
your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your aunts, that family.
Yeah.
So I do think that's another part, that you should definitely put time into, focus into. And like you said, that's important. That is important,
Big
regardless.
time.
One thing I did learn, that family is not always just blood related, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not always blood related. So whoever you consider family, invest in them. Invest time in them, quality time in them, invest in them. Just enjoy the moments with them. That's what
Yes.
you should do. And so that's what I've been trying to do since I've taken this break.
Major key.
Maybe.
Major key. Take care of the people that you care about.
Hmm.
That's something I've been learning in this season, because, as you said, men are very often, especially in the church, pushed towards a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. All these things, um, that kind of put family and relationships and community on the back burner, because you're looking to build something, you know? And I feel like you can't, some people, okay, me personally, this is the easiest way to talk about it. Me personally, I've been on a journey to search for that thing to build. I now know what I'm building, but being forced to build something from such a young age often ends in you choosing something that you're not interested in, and then you try to build it, and it just falls apart because you weren't invested. So kind of along those lines, what has this journey been like for you, kind of um, figuring out what you want and what you want to build necessarily? Have you figured out maybe what you want? Well, you said, you got your business and you know kind of what you want to do, but like, what's this journey been like of kind of figuring that out?
Honestly, the journey has been interesting. And I'll say that because when I was younger, you always be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you kind of tell them because you have an idea, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I want to
Mm-hmm.
those are the popular career things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've realized that it changes. Well, at least for me, it has changed. And even currently in my life, where I thought, oh, marketing is my thing, graphic designing, video editing is my thing. But I realized,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized I had this like current realization actually, that if I didn't do it anymore, if today I just lost the opportunity to do graphic designing, video editing, and stuff like that, I would be okay. I wouldn't feel lost. Um, and I think that right now I'm still on the journey to figure out, okay, God, what is it that you want me to build? Like I mentioned before, I do believe that God has something for me to do in terms of ministry,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to fulfill that no
Yeah.
matter what. Like, but sometimes I can be honest and say I self sabotage. I self sabotage through fear. I self sabotage through doubt of myself, and so I'm trying to work on those things. So then I can figure out, okay, God, so what it is that you want me to build in terms of ministry? Because I do love encouraging people. I do love, ministering to people and just letting them know that things are gonna be all right, and letting them know like if God has a word for them. I enjoy that because I do want, them to know that what God has for them is for them. And I want them to know what is it that God has for them. If God
Yeah.
can use me to tell them like, listen, God said that you're going through a storm, but things are about to change. Stuff
Mm-hmm.
like I want to be used that way. I do.
Yes. Yes.
But I want it to be sincere. I don't want it to just be for show. I don't want it to be just because it's the popular thing in church
Yeah.
culture. You know, I don't want to do that. So, when it comes to what I want to build, I want to build sincerely and doing ministry. And I know that I can also do that through graphic designing and stuff like that. But I know that there's much more that God has for me. So really just the journey of figuring out what is it that I want to do and what I want to build on is
Mm.
still in process with me.
Yeah.
I'm 23, so I know I'm not like, like God, why don't I don't know this yet? Like I'm getting too
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
But I know that God does all things well, and in His
Yeah.
time, I'll reveal it. And so I'm just trying to be patient on that, and I'm not trying to rush it. So I'm just really trying to give myself grace with that. And so right now, I'm just slowly building. Like I am building on my company and stuff like that, and building in school. Because that's the focus right now. I do believe that that is a part of the journey God has me on. Because y'all getting into John Hopkins ain't easy. Okay, so if
I
God
ain't there.
let me get in, I know it must be I know it must be a reason. So listen, God, I'm gonna stay the course. So yeah, really, yeah, I'm just really I think right now it's just I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what I want to
Mhm.
build. But I do know that I want to do it within ministry and within if God's willing this is still my purpose within my business and stuff like that.
I think one of the biggest things you said there was your approach to it. Um, Having a heart that is open to whatever it is. Like some people, and I've been through this, and I'm still learning it. If I'm being honest, you go through being unsure, but then you kind of make up your mind on what you want God to tell you sometimes, and
You try to choose stuff
you
for
try to
God.
choose. And it's like that's not you know. Um,
Yeah.
so that's the first thing I think that makes a huge difference in receiving what God has for you for sure is having an open heart. And the second thing you mentioned that I thought was interesting is, and you said it before, but the sincerity in which you want to serve and to bless people, because like you said, in church culture, it's very cliche to give people a word or to send them off with a blessing or speak into their lives, which isn't terrible. The acts aren't terrible in themselves, but the sincerity behind it is not always what it should be. And um, in a way, you're kind of pursuing authenticity. I mean, not in a way. That's really what you're doing is pursuing the authentic way in which you believe God wants to use you.
Yeah.
So
And just to piggyback off what you said about
yeah.
never, wrong to encourage somebody. It's never
Hmm.
wrong, you know, speaking to somebody's life. Now, in today's world, I do believe that people believe in giving prophecies because it's the cool thing. Everybody wants to
Hmm.
be a prophet, everybody wants to be a prophetess. But I think this is just my intake that we're doing God a disservice when we try to give somebody a word, but it wasn't from God, right? I feel like we're doing God a disservice and that person that we're giving a word to a disservice because it's not real, it's not
Yeah.
true, right?
Right.
So God, while you talking like, oh, God told me to tell you, look in your pocket 2 in 3 days, and you gonna find $20, and that wasn't from the Lord. And God, like, you is not telling the truth. Like,
Mm.
you are
It's
lying.
true. It's true.
And so, and my hope is that people have true intentions on really encouraging people and not just trying to be cool in the church world. Because it's like, if you really have true intentions, I'm not giving no word. I'm not telling nobody, God told me to tell you nothing that I don't feel like God really didn't tell me to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want God to come at me for doing that. I don't want him to be like, Sasha, in Judgment Day, he like, you remember when you told such and such this and that, and I've
Yeah.
never, and I'm like, God, I don't never want to be on that. And I know that a part in the Bible that God, he talks about how he's going to come for those prophets that, basically the false prophets. He's going to come for them. Okay. I would
Oh.
have to give you where it's at and I have to find it, but
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. So, I definitely, like you said, it's not wrong to want to encourage people. Now, if you just want to have an encouraging message for somebody, just want to uplift them, by all means, please do. But when it comes to saying you heard from God and God is telling you to tell this person this and that, make sure you have your relationship with God is on top tier level, okay? Top tier level, that you are truly and you are sincerely hearing the voice of God, because
Mm.
that's when people will see God's glory and they will receive the reality of your prophecies.
Hmm.
And so you really have to hear God's voice. And so, I just wanted to piggyback off of that I don't want people to think that, oh, we're saying everybody's, wrong and that it's wrong to give
Yeah.
prophecy like that. But just make sure it's real. That's
Yes. You
important.
gotta make sure it's authentic
Yeah,
because
make
a
sure
lot
it's
of people just be having a good time. You can if you're
y'all
really in tune,
up, screaming,
man.
don't feel nothing.
Just pick
Don't
the
need
mic up.
it at all.
Oh, it's so frustrating because when it's so obvious sometimes when you see people just doing it because they can.
People have learned church really well. And I've learned how to do church, but one thing about me is I don't do church just to do church. Like, I'm not just gonna put on a show.
Hmm.
I'm there to enjoy the service, and I can be honest with you. Sometimes I go there, and I may not always listen to the word. I'm telling myself, but I know that I have to do better with that because God sends pastors and preachers and stuff to feed us with wisdom and what He's trying to say to us and what get us an understanding of the Bible and everything like that. And I think right now because I'm just on a journey of finding out where I want to be in regards to what church and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
but I know I have to do better like that. But you know, people have learned church really well. I've been brought up in this. 23 years. I've been in church 23 years, y'all. And I could play church if I wanted to too. Okay,
It's an
because
art.
you're brought up in it and you just know the acts, the ins and outs of it all.
Man,
So people,
it's an
it is what it is.
art.
It's an art. Some of these need to be actresses and actors because they do.
Woo! You think people like Kev on stage exist for a reason?
Right.
He knows church, okay? He has an authentic, faith, but he can tell you the ins and outs. Especially, I couldn't tell you as much about. Okay, I had a conversation with a friend, a white friend, who said that it was okay for me to say black and white church. I don't really like to do that. I don't like to separate it, but the truth is, and the reality is, There's black church culture. There's white church culture. I don't really know the nuances of the white church culture, but I feel like it's a little stronger, the art. But I don't know because I don't know the white church that much. I feel like there's a bit more of that artistic playing church role thing kind of going on in the black church. Um,
Definitely.
and
That's who I was referring to.
I'm just saying. I just because I know people of both are gonna watch this.
I'm sure in the CCM type churches, and those other denominations, and the white churches, that there are some people who just know how to play church as well.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, because I've been brought up in the black culture of church, I have seen it all my life. I know that there is the play, acting of
Ooh, child.
in that type. I know the black culture. I know we do it. Like I don't really know much about the CCM type churches or the white churches much either.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak on them, but there's a possibility that they some people know how to play church in
Mm-hmm.
their it's we just people were brought up in this type of thing, and you just learn over time how to go with the role. You know how to
That's it.
what
It's
you need to
true. The
fit in.
theatrics, man. Oh my gosh.
A lot of theatrics.
Ooh, child. Well, um, we're saying all that to say we covered all that because it's important, authenticity. And I noticed one thing about this generation that's coming up is not all of them are fond of the churchiness. I like to be churchy. I like a little churchy. Give me an organ, have a good time. Okay, I love that. But I notice a lot of this younger generation are just like, yo, I want to see the transformative power of Jesus in your life. I don't want you to just tell me about it because you're still miserable. I want to see it, and then I want that for myself. Um, so how do you find it kind of like relating to people who want to understand or unsure of your faith?
Honestly, I think with me, a lot of times people connect with me through my Instagram. Like my Instagram stories. Like I always talk about God on mine. I always like, bring my personality in it and just be chill about it. I'm not trying to be all churchy. Like you may see me on my stuff, listen to gospel music, and you have like a little church little thing in my car, like, cause that's really me. Like I be going in on my car with some
You
clothes.
do.
Yeah,
Oh,
y'all, I really do. Like that's not for show, but like listen. And so I think that's really how I kind of connected with the younger generation, and I do believe that God has shifted this whole ideology of having to be in church to receive,
yeah.
God and things. And that's even to say that's through COVID, things changed, things shifted. Churches had to shift to people were in their homes, and they had to
Mhm.
transition to actually really trying to touch people who are not in the church building,
Yeah.
right? And so that kind of correlates to that's how we have to get to the younger generations. Like you said, they're not trying to go into church to see people the same way, still miserable. They
Hmm.
want the real transformation. They want to see the real healing. They want to see the real miracles. They want to see the real deliverance from God. And it's out there. God is still doing these things.
Yes.
And God is really expecting people now. He's like, I done shifted things because y'all were so focused on church instead of relationship. Y'all
Wow.
was on religion instead of relationship. But
Wow.
now, things have shifted to where people were, I don't want to say forced because God is a gentleman. He never forces anybody.
Mhm.
But you had more time to focus on God. You had more time
Yes.
to build that relationship. And so now it's the time to build on that foundation that you started with God during this time of consecration, during this time of isolation, to start going out there to minister to the people that are not necessarily churched, to the people who want to see God's miracles, but not necessarily want to go into the building. Because it's important to still minister to the people who already know God, who already have experienced God. It's important. Don't get me wrong. It's still important to minister to
Yeah.
them who still need some things from God to be poured into them when it comes to the church community. But
Yes.
it's also we need to get out there to the people who want to know God but don't know Him that well,
Hmm.
learn for Him but don't know Him that well and don't know how to get to Him. And
Yeah.
that is generation. I think they do have they're curious about God. They're curious about what He can do. They're
Hmm.
curious about what they've heard church people say about Him, but they haven't seen no evidence, right?
Yeah.
And it's about time out for that. It's about time for us to get back to the evidence of what God can do.
Ooh. I told you she had some.
Listen,
She's on the edge.
I wasn't prepared for this. I was like, Lord, how this thing gonna go? We just gonna let it flow. We gonna let it flow. We gonna let it flow.
It is flowing. It is flowing. Oh my gosh. Now, shifting gears a little bit, um, what do you kind of see for yourself in terms of, I mean, we kind of covered it a bit, but is there anything specific in the way you see yourself impacting people, um, or how you would like to impact people? We know what you feel called to, but is there something that you think you really want to do? That's a tough question.
It's a question because I'm gonna tell you why it's a tough question. Because, like I said, I'm shy, and it's not. It's nothing I really like. Like I think I'm joking. I really am not. Like I really like to be the back. So to say like that you really want to do, if I can minister through graphics, I'll choose that because I'm behind the scenes. I would. Okay, let me touch your heart through a little picture, through a little video edit, like.
Mercy.
But just through people I've connected to, and just through my prayer group, and through just prophecies that I've received, I do know that God really does have more for me. And how I know this is because I take like prophecies I get from people very lightly. I don't be like, huh, they said it, it must be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that there are true prophets out there, and I do understand that. But I just be careful. But when you can get prophecies that align with each other from three different people who don't
Yeah.
know each other, that is really God knocking at you like, this
Confirmation.
I have this for you. This belongs to you, right? And so that's what technically has been happening with me. I've gotten
Mm.
prophecies from people regarding the same thing that didn't really know each other, right?
Oh,
And so I know it's just God's divine order. And so from what I'm told, y'all, from what I'm told, I'm supposed to reach people through like, worship leading, preaching, teaching, and supposedly part of it, prophesying. I don't know what all that really entails. I don't know what it really looks like in terms of what God has it envisioned for me. But I do know that it does involve, probably some singing, some worship leading, some, just speaking into people's lives, even if it's just at a grocery store. It not necessarily has to be at a church platform or on a pulpit. I'm not, fully focused on that. I'm not saying that that's the destination that I'm gonna be at. I don't know what it is. We
mm.
can do one thing and have one way of how it's visioned because of what we see normally, but God can have different ways of doing it. So yeah, I see myself impacting people through worship leading, just in speaking to their lives, trying to tell them what God is really trying to tell them through me. If it's preaching, if it's teaching, through that. And also like one of my desires, listen, I love giving like to people. I love being able to do for people when I have the resources. So I do believe
Mm-hmm.
that God is going to give me the ability to impact people's lives,
Amen.
economically, in terms of like being able to buy houses for people, being able to provide
Yes.
jobs for people, being able to provide resources and opportunities for people, people that are in need, whatever they're in need of. I do believe that God will use me to do that because I really do have a heart to give. I love to do things for people when in terms of if I have it, I love to do. I really do. So
Yes.
that I'll impact lives that way too.
You can sing. Wait, hold on, hold on. You can sing.
Oh, we're not gonna do that.
So no,
You're
I
not
ain't gonna ask. I ain't gonna ask you to sing. I'm not
okay.
gonna do. I'm not gonna do you dirty like that. I ain't gonna do you like that. But
Listen, don't do that.
I have
Don't
heard you sing a little bit. Sometimes you might post it on your story or something.
very rarely. Very rarely, but I do.
But I done been in there. I've seen it. I know, I know it. Um, so I mean, I can definitely see that. But I mean, honestly, just praying for your confirmation to, for things to unfold for you in that vein, 'cause that's amazing. Um, the main reason I had you on here is just so that people could see a young person and kind of get the mindset of what it's like to grow. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I see you, and this might be news to you. Hope it's not, but it might be your whole, even just social media, what would you say, personality, if you will, is it to me, it just shouts growing. I see a lot of, like, it looks like you're doing a lot to grow. You know what I mean?
You better prophesy. Just listen. You better preach. I so appreciate that because that honestly, that has been my prayer in this season to
Mm-hmm.
grow in Him, to grow in prayer, and to grow in
Yes.
His Word, just to grow in my gifts that He has
Mm-hmm.
given me, grow into my purpose and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I need a lot of growing over here because I'm not where I need to be. I'm not. I know I'm not. There's always there's many areas where I can grow in, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to it. I am yearning to grow. I want to grow. I want to
Yeah.
be a different level than what I am today. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I want to be better at what I want to be better at what I'm today, but even better in the future. Like I want to grow in everything.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I'm glad that God is kind of showing that through my social media and my personality. Thank you, Lord. Mhm.
Man, it's people. I want them to see the growth, but also, like you said, the yearning behind it. Because a lot of people are kind of confused about what it's like to grow. Like they want to be better, they want to grow, but they are unsure about their process, and they feel like, oh, my process is different from everyone else's, which it is. Everyone's is unique, but at the same time, it's not so unique that is completely different from everyone else's. There will be setbacks. There are drawbacks. There is, like, shy. You said you're shy. People think just because they're shy, they won't get anything done. And that's what some people will tell them. But that's not always the truth. You know, people out here just lying. But um, I just kind of wanted to get someone else's perspective on what it's like in this season. I mean, you never stop growing, but for the young people, I kind of wanted them to just hear like that from you. And I think you have explained well, very well. I'm
Thank
glad.
you.
I'm so glad. And I knew this kind of had to happen the way it did because, not kind of, it did have to happen the way it did because I had a different topic before.
You did
Um,
something else, and then you changed it. I was like, okay, we're gonna go with that.
and, because we were supposed to do this a few weeks ago, but everything happens for a reason. And I'm glad it did turn out this way. I'm sure I will have you back on in the future.
Oh,
This has been insightful. I don't even know how long it's been, to be honest.
right? How
Maybe,
long? No, I don't know how long it's been either.
I feel like it's near an hour, but I'm not 100% sure.
Really, we've been talking for an hour.
Maybe. I don't know.
I got somebody like, wow,
Wow.
wow, crazy.
No, but I'm so glad. I'm thankful. Um, Once again, everybody, Miss Sasha. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, you could shout yourself out one more time because people follow her, man. She gonna give you some inspiration. She's always on there talking about something which has always got me laughing or inspired. Or she sings every night. You want to just, you never know when it's gonna come up.
Two little me's, little, little me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You never know.
You never know. So that's why you gotta follow me because you never know. Listen, and then also, just to just put this in there. God has put in my heart that just to do a prayer live on my Instagram. Being that people, they see me on my Instagram stories and stuff like that. So I will be starting that soon where people can send me their prayer requests. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I think I'm gonna do it in some form of fashion, but it'll come on my page soon. How you guys can send your prayer requests if you have prayer requests, and I will be going on my Instagram live, hopefully once a week, just doing a prayer on there. It won't be that long, because our generation is not really that into that long of a prayer, and it's okay. We gonna just get to God. We gonna pray,
Mm-hmm.
and believe God for some things for you all and go from there. So that will be on my page. So you can definitely follow me on Instagram and stuff like that to be updated on that. Again, my Instagram is Sasha Sasha
Mm-hmm.
Kayani Kayani. And really, I just want to thank you for having me. God bless you for this whole platform. I do believe that God is going to take this further than what it is now, and I'm looking forward to seeing your expansion, man of God. And
Oh, amen.
appreciate you having. I really appreciate it. I am blessed to be one of your guests on here.
It's been good. Um, and for those of you who might be a little confused, yes, if you watch the video on YouTube, you'll get the graphic. But for those of the people that are listening on Spotify and the other platforms, that's why I asked her to say it out a couple of times. So, yeah, this has been amazing. I'm grateful for you to come on. And yeah, until next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
You were so nervous, but you did great.